Hi friend, I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all online event as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Lash Biz Babes. My name is Erica Stram and I'm your host, and today we're going to be talking about content creation, the big scary C word, content creation. So if you're new to the show, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here, and if you are listening to me again, thanks for coming back. I'm really glad to have you here as well. And I'm really excited to talk about this topic because I feel like there's sometimes, this isn't always true, but sometimes a really big resistance with solo lash artists to wanting to create content and like be able to keep up with social media. Like it's just one of those things where a lot of times when I talk to solo business owners about it, it's like, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't know what to post. I'm not sure how to do it. I can't, like, it's hard to stay consistent with. So let's talk about that today. So buckle up. We've got some good things in here for you. So usually when I tell people that the main place that I book clients off of, or that I booked clients off of when I was still taking new clients, or taking clients at all, I guess, was, when I told them that the main place I booked clients from was from Instagram, usually the first question I would get asked is like, how do you do that? Like, I don't have time to keep up with that. Or like they ask me if I post every day and say it's like, oh, that's not doable for me. And that can be just fine. That might not be doable for everybody, but the thing that is doable for everyone is staying consistent with it if it's a place where you want to generate new clients booking with you from. For me personally, when I moved and I had to restart my clientele, like I love social media as it is. Like I've just always really liked it. But for me, I knew it was a free platform and a really easy, quick way to get my name out there to a lot of different people without having to put in a lot of effort. And so that's what was the appeal to social media for me. So it's not for everyone. If you don't feel aligned with using social media to grow your lash business, that's okay. Find what you do feel aligned with, get yourself a strategy for it, and go out there and do it. But if social media is a place that you do feel aligned with and it's something that you do want to leverage, like this free platform to bring in new clients, then this is the podcast for you. Keep listening until the end. So, the content you post on your social media for your business and the way you present yourself on your business social media is one of the main factors of that determines how you're going to attract new clients and also sets the context for who you will attract as clients. So I'm going to say that again. Your social media presence sets the context for the level of clients that you call in to your business. It sets the context for who you book. So if you're finding yourself getting clients who are like breaking policies, not respecting your time, they don't want to pay your prices, one of the likely culprits is probably the way that you're marketing yourself, the way that you're positioning your business to attract in clients. And so if that is the case, what you need to focus on is up-leveling that and elevating your social presence or elevating the way that you're marketing yourself to attract in new clients. And as far as social media goes, I know that it's something that can be overwhelming sometimes, with knowing what to post and when to post. And, there's so many different aspects and factors that go into it. So first of all, let's just simplify this and break down the pieces of it to make it super simple for you, so that you can show up consistently online without spending hours and hours doing it. So, let me get ready for this. Before jumping into the pieces of creating, the first thing that will help you get organized and spend less time creating content is going to be scheduling time to plan out your content. This is going to be just a huge part of being able to sustainably stay consistent with your online presence and posting online, because realistically, you are not going to have time to sit down and create posts and think of what you're going to post every single day. That's not a great strategy. It's going to lead to burnout, and it's going to lead to you not being able to keep up with it and find yourself I don't know what to post today, I'm just not going to post. And give yourself some grace. It's okay if you fall off the wagon, but let's hop right back on. So sitting down, scheduling time to do it, that's going to be one of the most sustainable things you can do, is to schedule out your tasks, schedule in time. You've got all these things you need to do on the back end of your business to run other than just taking clients. So let's schedule some time into your week to make sure that those back end activities get done and that you have time to do them. Because if you're trying to squeeze them in between clients or after clients, it's going to end in burnout. That's just the way that it goes. If you are, working too much and overworking and not, things will fall through the cracks. You're going to feel burnt out. It's not going to feel sustainable for you long term. So schedule out some time to sit down and do it. If you're just starting out with scheduling time to do content creation, I would schedule out maybe 30 minutes to an hour a week for it. Don't do anything too crazy, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself with it at first. So 30 minutes to an hour a week, keep it simple, and do 3 to 7 days worth at a time. You don't want to get too much. Once you get your system down with it, then it's easier to sit down and batch 2 weeks worth of posts, a month's worth of posts. But when you're first starting out, let's keep it simple. So sit down, plan out your posts, and have that time set aside to do so. So the first piece of content creation is understanding who your content is for. Who are you trying to attract with your social media? So when you know exactly who you're trying to attract, creating content for them and writing captions becomes a whole lot easier, because you can cater it specifically to them, and have it actually be attracting the people that you want to bring in. So if you're a beauty service provider, like a lash artist, I think a majority of you, if you're listening to this, you're likely a lash artist. But if you're a lash artist, a hairstylist, an esthetician, a spray tan artist, nails, whatever it is, whatever beauty service it is that you provide, if you are one of those, and if you have a business Instagram that you are using to try to book new clients, who is it that you are trying to attract? Potential clients, right? Potential clients in your area. So that's who your who is for your content, is those potential clients in your area. If you were an educator who teaches courses and you have a business Instagram and you're trying to get more students, who would you be trying to attract? Students or fellow beauty professionals, right? So that would be who your who was. So it's your who for your content is different depending on who you're trying to attract. So majority of you listening are probably beauty service providers who are trying to attract clients. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see in marketing by beauty service providers is that your content and captions are not geared towards your who. They're not meant or written to be understandable towards who you're trying to attract. Most of the time they're geared towards, or I shouldn't say most of the time, but there is a large percentage of the time where I see captions and posts that are geared towards other beauty service providers. And if that's not who you're trying to attract, then that's probably not who you should be creating content for. So your captions need to be understandable to potential clients. A lot of times I see captions that are like talking in industry lingo with like CC 0.06, like 8 to 12 to 10. Like a potential client, majority of potential clients have absolutely no idea what that means. Like that literally means nothing to them. It just goes right over their head and they're going to scroll right past it because they don't know what that means. So the first thing to do is figure out exactly who you're trying to attract and make it understandable to them. Like a majority of potential clients, they don't understand lashes, even to the point of like, they don't always even know the difference between like classic and hybrid and volume and mega. Like we talk like that and say like, oh, volume lashes, or like some people even call them like Russians and stuff. Like potential clients don't know what that means. So we've got to make it understandable to them. Talk in your captions like you are talking to someone who has absolutely no idea about lash extensions. Like you are positioning yourself as an expert and educating them so that they understand the services that you provide. So once you know who you're trying to attract, you can cater your content to them and you can cater your captions exactly to them. And it's also important to know who, so that you can focus on growing your following with these people. Because if you want to attracting clients and your goal with your social media is to book new lash clients, but you are posting content that's only understandable to beauty service providers, or you're trying to grow your following with other beauty service providers with like follow for follows or like engagement pods or something like that, like that's not going to move the needle in your business. I know there's like an argument out there that it, like having more followers builds your credibility, but that is not true. Like you can have 100, 200, 300 followers and build your full clientele out of that if it's the right people in your following. Other service providers who aren't in your area, who can't potentially book an appointment with you, the support, yeah, that is a really great thing to support each other and empower each other in that way, but it's not going to make any difference in your business as far as making money goes. And we do our businesses to make money, so let's focus in on who our actual audience is and grow our following with the right people so that you can book in new clients and make that time you're spending in that area of marketing worth it. So that's your number one, is really focus in on who you're trying to attract and make sure that your content is for them and understandable to them. And then number two, now that you know who you are creating your content for, let's get into the what. So what do I post for them? What do I create? And trying to figure out what to post can be overwhelming sometimes, to the point where we're like, I'm not going to post. That has been me in the past, where I'm just like, I don't know what to post today. I don't know what to say. I'm just not going to post anything. And then I found myself like a week later or like a month or two later being like, I didn't post anything. That's not me now, but that's how it was for me when I was like first getting started as a solo artist. And so understanding the what and planning it out is going to help you stay consistent. But here's how to like break that cycle. I keep a running list of post ideas, and anytime I think of one, I write it down. So have like that running list. If you like, even if it's like in the middle, like for some reason I always wake up in the middle of the night with like really great content ideas. Like I guess I'm just so inspired in my sleep that I think of good ideas, or like I'll be driving or like cleaning or like doing something like outside playing with my kids or something, and I think of an idea and I'm always like, oh, I'll remember it later, and then I never remember it. Or like I had so many ideas, I don't remember them all. And so that's another reason why it's good to, like, when you think of it, just write it down. Like, keep it a note in your notes app in your phone, or whatever you need to do, like Google Drive or something, so that you can have this running list of post ideas. And then we're going to focus in on creating content that will attract potential clients. So to help you hone in on what to post, let's break it down in what are called, I like to call content themes. So a content theme is basically just the overarching like theme of your post, the overarching topic of it. So these can be educational posts, inspirational posts, entertaining posts, selling posts, connection posts. There's different other ones out there, but those are the ones that I've found really were beneficial and effective in growing my clientele, and especially when I was like going to grow my clientele even more with another lash artist who was working in my studio with me. So let's break those down. They're all really great content themes for lash artists, or just beauty professionals in general who are using social media to attract potential clients. And you can use these as guides for what to post, and then keep that running list of ideas for each content theme. So let's talk about some examples of content that would fall under each of these themes. So number one is educational posts. So your goal with educational posts is to educate potential clients on the services that you provide. So you'll want to break things down like you were talking to a friend who knows nothing about the services that you provide. So we've kind of already touched on this a little bit. But some ideas for this could be the difference between the lash types that you offer. So the difference between like classic, hybrid, volume, mega, who those looks would be best for. Like if you're wanting this end look, this is going to be the service to book. Make it really easy for them. Make it really understandable for them. Another example of an educational post would be how to clean your lashes, why to clean your lashes, why do you need to come in for fills every 2 to 3 weeks, how your natural lash growth cycle works, aftercare, all of these different things. Educational posts break it down in understandable terms, help you be able to not only educate your followers and potential clients, but it also positions you as the expert on what you do, and you become the go-to person on these topics in the minds of your followers. So whether you're a lash artist or not, like think about it in terms of your services, what can you post to educate your clients about the services that you offer, and just help them, train them on lashes to your standard, or train them on your services to your standard. The next one is inspirational posts. So your goal with inspirational posts would be to inspire potential clients to get the services that you offer done. So in the case of lash extensions, some ideas for inspirational posts would be before and after pictures. And a pro tip with before and after pictures, always put the after photo first, because if someone is looking at your page like on your actual profile and they're looking at it and they're scrolling through, they're likely not going to be like tapping on photos to look at them individually. And so they're not going to see those after pictures. So you want those after pictures to be the ones that live on forever as on the forefront of your page. We don't want to like have people come look at our page and have just like a bunch of like weird like pre-fill photos or like before photos, because that doesn't show them the work that you do. So we want to put that at our forefront. So pro tip, always put your after photo first. Other ideas of inspirational posts would be talking about the benefits of lashes. Why is it going to make their day-to-day life better? Why do your existing clients love their lash extensions? You could tell a story about a client who loved their lashes, or why lashes helped your clients day-to-day. Like I had a client once tell me that she got classic lashes on and she was like, wow, that made me feel so more professional at my job. It just made me feel so much more put together every day, and it just really boosted my confidence. And so that was something I was able to take and turn that into content and like tell that story to my followers and inspire them to get lashes on. So that can be another idea of content for you, is to tell a story about a client who loved their lashes and why lashes helped your client day to day. The really overarching goal with inspirational posts is to help potential clients and followers feel something and feel that there's a reason why, to know why it's going to help their day-to-day lives and benefit them. Because people buy off of emotions. If you can get them to feel something, that's going to go a long way with being able to book more clients and help them know the value. Why is it worth spending the money for? And then selling posts, that's our next one. So your goal, of course, with these is to sell something. And the thing about selling is a lot of times I hear people say, I don't want to be salesy, I don't want to be like pushy. But the thing about sales is that sales is service. You are doing them, you are offering value and making their life better and like helping them transform their lives in exchange for being compensated for your work. And so that is what the focus is. You are making their life better, and then you're being compensated for that. And so selling is service. So some ideas for selling posts, this could be sharing what retail products you offer, why they're beneficial, sharing what appointment times you have open, sharing what makes coming to you unique, sharing why your clients love coming to you, why your client experience is amazing. Really the goal and the thing I see missing a lot with selling posts is it's like, okay, I have these appointment times open, or like volume lashes, book an appointment with me. Like, let's take it to the next step. If you only had like half a sheet of paper, and so, okay, let me break this down a little bit more. If you were like in a room and there was like a line of potential clients that were looking for service providers, and then there was a bunch of service providers in the room too, and the only way you could try to convince these potential clients to book with you was to write like half a sheet of paper about your business, and you handed that to them and that's all they could read and know about your business, what would you write on that sheet of paper? Would you write volume lashes, book an appointment with me? Or like, here's my open times and my prices, book an appointment with me? If that was like all they could know about your business? Probably not, right? If you really wanted to book all the clients in the room, you would probably write all of the selling points about your business. What is going to be great about coming to you? What do your clients love about coming to you? Why is it going to benefit them? What's unique? You would talk yourself up. So you've got to do that on social media too, or in any other spaces where you are working to attract in clients. So really sell yourself. What are the great things about coming to you that your clients love, or that the potential clients would absolutely adore about coming in for an appointment? Why is that experience going to be really good for them? So that's the main overarching goal behind selling posts. And then connection posts, that's our next one. So these are my personal favorite. I love making friends online, and just, like I said, I've always really liked social media, and I've made a lot of friends through it in through different social media channels. And so connection posts are like my jam. They're my personal favorite. So these are posts that make connections with those who follow you or that you follow. So some ideas would be to share a picture of you talking about who you are, what you'd like to do, sharing behind the scenes of your studio, getting on your stories and talking on your stories, letting people see your face and just get to know you. So basically you're just making connections with your followers. You're going out with the intention of genuinely trying to make friends with them, and finding things in common, creating those connections. So it doesn't have to be super personal things, but just letting people see who you are, what you like, and what you're about. And it lets people start to make a connection with you before ever booking an appointment. It puts that face behind the business. And when people get to know you and like you and trust you, that's when you're going to be able to really build the momentum in building your clientele and attracting clients in easily. And that's going to start building really quickly and easily with building connections as you're working to attract in clients, because it does allow them to start to know you and like you and trust you. And that makes them more likely to book with you. So social media is social. Make connections. Be yourself. If you want people who are like-minded to you, show up as yourself online and be who you are authentically. And that's going to magnetize your people to you, people who are really like-minded to you. So the other question, let's see. I think we got through all of the different content themes. So hopefully that gives you guys some really good ideas for content themes. And, you can really sit down and just write out like education, inspiration, entertaining. Oh, I think that's the only other one we didn't do was entertaining. I mean, that's a pretty straightforward one, is like memes or funny reels or like just lighthearted, entertaining posts to make them smile. But you can sit down and write out like education, inspiration, entertaining, selling, connection, and just start writing out some ideas and keep this running list going. And then always remember, you can repurpose content. Even if you've posted it before, you could literally take the same exact post you put out like 6 months ago and put it out again. Because Instagram only shows your content to a very small percentage of your followers. And also B, people don't remember, and C, what was I going to say? C, you have new followers usually, or like people who haven't seen it before. And so you want to, if it's like an educational post, that's such a good thing to bring back around, and to recycle back into your content and to your feed. So don't ever feel like you can't repost or like use the same lash pictures that you've used before. A majority of the time people A, don't notice, and B, that's okay, even if they've seen it before, because it's still your work and it will still show them what you're capable of. So repurposing content, that's another way that can make it really easy for you. And then the next question, so moving on from content themes, and if you guys have questions or ever need help with content themes, I am open in my DMs on Instagram, so if you need help, let's talk about it there. But the next question I get asked a lot about social media is like when to post, how often to post. And the answer to the like, do I have to post every day question, and that is really subjective. Is that the word I want to use? Like, you don't necessarily need to post every single day. I would focus on high quality content versus like mass posting and feeling like you have to post every day or like post multiple times a day. Because if you have quality content, that's going to do the legwork for you without having to post a whole lot. Stories, I feel like, is a really great place to be showing up every day if that's something that you have the capacity and space to handle. But again, the key piece here is just consistency. So consistently showing up in your stories, consistently showing up in your feed. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to be posting every day, but like you are not just like posting like one time and then posting like a month later. Like you have, if you post once a week, then you post once a week. If you post 3 times a week, you post 3 times a week. Like decide what that schedule is going to be for you. And you can always adjust that later on if you need to, but just have some consistency and like a pattern with it. And in showing up for you and in showing up for your business. So the average person or potential client needs to see or hear about you like 7+ times before buying from you or booking with you. Like they have to hear about you multiple times. So you've got to keep reminding them about you. You've got to keep reminding them that you exist and who you are and what you do. And like I said earlier, Instagram and social media, Facebook, they don't always show your content to a very small percentage of your following. So keeping up with that consistency is going to make it more likely that more people see you and hear about you. And that consistency, that's going to build trust, and that trust will build momentum. And that momentum is what can build your clientele really quickly. And not only that, but just really being able to build those connections with your followers and continue to nurture those connections. So to get organized on the when, you can create a content calendar. This is my favorite way to keep up with planning out my social media content, is when I'm sitting down for my content creation time. I decide how many days worth of content I'm going to create. Like I said earlier, if you were just starting out, I'd recommend doing like 3 to 7 days worth so that it's less overwhelming. But you can pull from your list of ideas and then just pick what days you're going to post what, and then go from there. You can pick your photos or your videos. You can create the reels you need to, create the graphics you need to, and just have them all ready to go. So you can get an app to even schedule out posting it for you if that's something that you want to do. I don't personally have an app that I schedule posts through, but I just figure out, I'm going to write down on the calendar what I'm going to post each day, and then make sure that I have like that photo edited or like that video created or that graphic made. And then personally, I don't always write out my captions when I'm actually sitting down to create the content, but that is something that you can do as well, as like while you're picking out pictures and stuff, you can go through and write out the contents or the captions for it. But really just decide, what works for you. Figure out your time constraints and say, okay, I have an hour to do this, and so I'm going to sit down, figure out your time constraints and sit down and figure out how much content you can make in that time and like what works for you, because you want to make it sustainable for you. If you decide that scheduling out with an app is a lot easier for you, then go and do that. If you decide that sitting down and just figuring out what you're going to post on every day, and then, you go through them and create the posts each day from there, you're not necessarily sitting down and creating every post at once, then that's okay. But figure out your time constraints, figure out what works for you, and plan it out and execute. That's the important part, is implementing and executing. When you're sitting down, you can pull from your list, decide what you're going to post every day, pick your photos and your videos, and that creating that content calendar, that's really going to help you get organized on exactly what you're going to post on what days, and then help you decide, okay, next week I want to post this, and this, so I need to take like this picture and make this video and make this graphic, or like, while you're at work saying, okay, I need to take a before and after picture. Okay, I'm going to make this reel with a client, or whatever it needs to be. That way you have it ahead of time and you can go into work knowing exactly what content you need to create and what like videos you need to take or pictures you need to take. And like make a note or reminder for yourself so that you don't forget. But that's really just going to help you get organized and get on top of it. So final little notes here with content creation, just get creative with it. Turn your ideas into video content if and when you can. Their video content is really being prioritized in the algorithm right now. So like if you can add an animation to your graphics on Canva, make it a video format, or, make it into a reel, that's going to really be able to help you get seen more if you can just easily have it in video content instead. I'm not saying like you have to go out and make a bunch of dancing reels or make everything a video, do what works best for you. But if there's little things you can do, like add an animation to your graphics on Canva so that it's a video format, then that is just an easy way to be able to get seen more as well, since they are prioritizing video content currently. Or if you have like an idea for like an educational post, you could make it into like a reel, possibly. Like, okay, how can I make this a real idea? Or another thing that's doing really well right now is carousels, where it's like they have to swipe through your pictures to continue to read it. So carousels are doing really well. So if it's like an educational post, okay, let's do this in carousel format, because those are doing really well and being prioritized. So those are a couple different content formats that perform well and are being prioritized in the algorithm. And then again, just remember you can repurpose content. Not only like can you pull like posts from the past and repost them, but you can also repurpose content to different platforms. So for example, if you have a business Instagram page and a business Facebook page, you can be simultaneously posting to both places at the exact same time. So when you post to Instagram, you literally just like click a button that will automatically share it to your Facebook business page. And then you can be posting in two places at once. And then you can take that exact same post and go put it on like a Google My Business profile and post it there. Or you could take that exact same post and go post it on other social media platforms where you like your business is present on. So don't feel like you have to make a bunch of different content for a bunch of different platforms. It's actually pretty easy to keep up with multiple platforms when you're repurposing content, because you're literally just taking the same exact things you're posting, tweaking the format a little bit, tweaking the caption a little bit if you need to, and reposting in multiple places. I mainly focused when I was building my clientele on Instagram, Facebook, and Google My Business, and it would literally take me less than 5 minutes to post in all three places and able to reach potential clients in 3 different spots. So really sitting down, planning out the content, and then repurposing it and pushing it out in multiple spots, that's going to make it easy to be able to increase your visibility and your reach to potential clients and make it sustainable for you to be able to keep up with easily on top of all the other things you have on your plate as a solo business owner. So that is everything I have to say about content creation today. It's kind of a lot, but also really beneficial, I feel like, and just really packed full of good stuff today. So I hope it was helpful. If you have questions or you have thoughts, I would love to hear about them. You can reach out to me on Instagram at lashedbyericaS. Or you can also, if this was helpful for you, I would love for you to share a screenshot of it on your Instagram stories and tag me so that I can see that you watched. But I'm super thankful that you listened. Thank you so much for being here. Like, we officially, the podcast actually, like, it's like soft launched already, but like no one really knows about it yet. But if you're listening to this, obviously I've like already announced it by then, but like while I'm recording this, I haven't announced it yet. So I'm really excited for that. That is like the official launch is tomorrow, and I can't freaking wait. And I'm just really thankful for the community that we have and this opportunity to have this podcast and be able to continue to build the community and be able to help lash artists and beauty professionals transform their businesses and their lives. And I just am really super thankful for you. So if we aren't friends on Instagram, let's change that. Like I said, my username on there is at lashedbyericaS. And I will see you guys again soon with another episode.